Hey guys, Colby here. Welcome back to another War and Order video. Thank you Camel Games and War and Order for sponsoring today's video and the channel. Once again guys, we're back with the game. If you have not downloaded the game yet and tried it out, this is your chance to do it. There's going to be a link down below in the description and comments of today's video. The theme of today's video is going to be all about resources and being mindful with your resources, as it is, well, it is part of the game that is huge in terms of handling the economy, making sure that you are at all times aware on how important having your food, your wood, your stone, and your iron not depleted, or you depleted with purpose and you know what you're doing. There's multiple different ways that you can acquire these resources, and that's going to be what I'll be covering today. One of the biggest ways that you can do that in this game is, well, building up your farms, building up your queries, building up any of these passive ways to create these resources. The thing is, you'll have so many of these that you'll have to be leveling them up constantly at all times. And one of the things that I have found, and I'll probably be doing it for the foreseeable future, is to scheduling up the upgrades for these, because I can't keep up with all of these, especially when I also want to be upgrading my training grounds. I also want to be upgrading every part of my other buildings. So one of these big things is keeping up your farms and your queries and all of these passive ways of creating your resources, keeping them up to a high level and not letting them be at the lowest level possible. Okay, it's one of the most basic things, and you will have to do that as you're progressing through the game. You'll see your passive amount of resources collected. If you click on castle info, you'll see it up there on the top. This economy that you are creating, of course, will go up as you're progressing through and pushing in the game. If you're somebody like me who is not a beginner, but I don't consider myself an advanced player yet, I do not play this game for a long time, and I do not have the access maybe to all the resources that the seasoned players have. So all of these resources that you're collecting per hour, those you can actually boost with different ways based on whether you want to be buffing up your city. This city buffs, currently, for example, I have the army size boosted. That was because I was doing the Anubis Tower earlier, which also gives you resources, by the way, but that is like a Tuesday thing only. You can also boost your resources here with the obvious gather speed boost by boosting it up to 50%, which can be actually very impactful. You can use these when you are looking that your resources are being very low. That is another tip I can give you guys. Obviously, guys, the resources that you're collecting can also be boosted by research. I haven't really put effort into resource allocation right here. I've mostly been doing, I don't know, going into military, going into the Guardian Force. I just wanted to make my army stronger. That's what I wanted to do, just building up all of these research buffs to make my army stronger. I was initially going archers and infantry, then I switched up to mages and cavalry, basically mixing things up, trying different things and enjoying the game without really any pressure to, well, be the best, because you never be the best in these games, especially if you're a player who just started. You can of course go to a new realm and try to do that, but again, you'll be lacking the knowledge and maybe you won't have the alliance to back you up to be the best, really. So you enjoy the game as you go. That's what I do. So resources here, obviously, to improve your resource and how many resources you are collecting, you can go through and do your upgrades right here on the resource tab. I would say the load boost here can be impactful as it boosts up how many resources you can collect. But for me, I just went with the more passive upgrades when I was pushing for these upgrades. I didn't go crazy on any of these and didn't really put any effort into these. But this is a constant and, well, guaranteed way to improve your research for just improving your resource collection. The resource boosting right here. I think I will be switching into this one as now the cost for even upgrading my city for well, I've got 11 days to wait this out, but to get this to level 27 I needed millions upon millions of resources, and it's quite crazy, especially when you are not running thousands of farms. Okay, it won't be thousands, but farm accounts. So what are farm accounts? This is what more seasoned players do that have a lot of free time, and I wouldn't recommend this for the players out there who just want to spend their time and just enjoy the game with a more casual aspect in mind. So what are farm accounts? Basically, you create another account in the same realm as you, and it's a dedicated account where you attack it. It's yours. You just go all out with resources and you basically attack yourself. That's what you do, and you collect those resources every single day, but you make sure you collect them all the time so that you are well topped off in that aspect, and then use those resources for your own upgrades. So what I do instead is I just try and follow through and do my upgrades as I go. I don't do farm accounts. I might do one in the future as part of a video, but for now, what I do, for example, is right now I'm actually gathering resources right next to where my city is. I'm trying to gather some resources here with some of my troops, and since they're close, I will be collecting all that stone to have it on the account in about an hour or so through just the gather processing. Okay, you just send those troops to maybe you want to find a stone quarry here, maybe you want to find something else. You can find them with the search function right here. Obviously the higher levels, I'm not sure even where those are. Sometimes it doesn't even show them for me. So for now, I'm just going with the closest one so I can have my troops back with no problems, but also for what I am lacking off in terms of resources, I try to max that out. So more ways to collect resources. One of the less obvious ways to collect resources is through here, the depot. There's this thing called the resource sale where you actually can use your gems to purchase what, let's say, you're missing. These are not huge amounts, but they can actually stack up in terms of just purchasing stone or any other resource that you might be lacking of. I don't lack resource such as wood and food, so I basically never buy those. But once you buy 60 of these, you can actually pick up all those free rewards right here, and that is a nice way to get going. Honestly though, it doesn't make a huge difference, but it's a way for you to pick up some goodies if you are feeling very low on resources. Another way guys, that you can actually pick up some resources is through these piñatas. I've covered this in a video in the past where you open these piñatas, you get random resources right here. I can show you right now. Maybe we can pop up an oracle right here. Yes, I was lucky. Crystal ball popped up with these multipliers, and then maybe having a big resource here for wood and food. I don't go crazy on wood and food, but if this, let's say, was something like stone, I would have tried my luck, maybe get a multiplier going and get these rewards, because these cost a lot. I try not to go all the way, so this is like a quick video. But for example, if this was like the food, I would have gotten 3 times the food resource right there. I can keep on going, maybe I can get like a multiplier, but I don't want to keep on going because this costs a lot of gems, and for the rewards right now that are available, it's just not worth it for me. And this is a for sure guaranteed way for you guys to be picking up resources needed for your upgrades. Another good way for this one is through here, the merchant. From the merchant, you can actually buy some good stuff when you sell resources, but what you can also buy is farm boosts right here, or if you refresh it multiple times. I can show you guys. Let's do it a little bit more. I was trying to refresh it earlier to have it ready for the video, but I just didn't find it. Like stone mine boost, all of these boosts can be impactful for your account. It all depends on where you are in the game. What I would like to show also is that this is, let's say you have more food or wood, you can sell these to acquire the research for the merchant to buy, let's say, the stone mine boost. It all depends on how more comfortable you are with your food and wood. I never sell stone or iron because I'm always low on these, especially iron. I feel like I have 0 of that. So with that in mind, that's how I accumulate resources. There's multiple different packs offered in the game for resources. I don't recommend going crazy on packs for resources because that's just whale territory. And I know many of you guys out there are just not playing the game for that kind of, spending that much money for the game. Maybe you spend a little bit every month or so, but you're not going to be spending huge amounts of money. And if you're not spending it on food, wood, iron or stone, it's not the way to go. The biggest thing that I know it works is just attacking monsters. When you do attack monsters, you get all of these crates. Look at that, 26 times 3k. And I've done these. I was just stacking these up. I think I'm out of stamina right now. That's why they stopped. So the way that you want to go is completing your guaranteed daily scroll fragments collection here if you do have the stamina. So 10 of these scrolls can actually give you lots of resources. I don't even think I collected 10 of these with all my attacks today. For some reason, the drops were very low today. Usually I get 10 very quickly. I thought it was like a boosted thing early in the game, but today from all of my fights I got 4, which is very surprising. It was like 5% drop rate or something. I was very surprised with that. But you do accumulate these small packs of resources, which if you go through and actually start using them, you'll notice these stack up. Look at that. I've got 2,000 of the food crates for 3,000. I've got 2,500 for the wood crates, but I've got way less for stone because of the obvious thing, which is basically I've been using stone and iron much more than the other resources. That's why I'm more keen on selling my food and wood on the merchant rather than selling my stone or iron. So another important thing is obviously if you want to change also your lord skills to go more so on development, you can do this. I don't recommend doing this for the most part, but if you are somebody who's just more focused on this, you can just reset your skills and go for development here to make your resource collection better. You can also try and focus on different equipment, which you can use that as a, let's say, resource collecting build. I haven't done that. If I'm gonna be brutally honest, I haven't done that. But when you are somebody who's just straight up wanting a lot more resources, that's the way that you can go. And then also with your alliance, sometimes in the alliance shop you might find some of these speed ups that might be useful. The lucky coins, the crystal coins, all of these can be useful for collecting more resources in the long run. Because let's say you want to be getting your speed ups, that's going to help you with more upgrades in the future. Again, I don't recommend buying the speed ups here because of how much honor it costs, but if it's something that you want to be doing, you need to be exploring all the different shops within the game that can give you resources in order to improve your gameplay and find your own style of play, I would say, in order to not be wasteful with your resources, because this game can be very expensive if you just go all out all the way. You need to manage your expectations in terms of spending, and once you do that and you understand, okay, I'll be spending X amount every single day, then yeah, that's great. Or every single month, then yeah, that's great. And that's the way that you want to be going with resources. In this game, it's just an endless pit of resource wastefulness if you don't do things such as having your hospital at a high level and making sure that your troops do not die, because when your troops die, that's a huge resource loss. But that's basically tips for another video. I just wanted to show you guys some of my own beginner level tips for resource collection and resource allocation in the game. There's more in-depth tips coming in future videos. Thank you all guys for watching the video. Thank you for subscribing to the channel if you're somebody who is a fan of War and Order. Thanks again to Camel Games for sponsoring the video today. Thank you guys. Have happy holidays and enjoy the rest of the year. Thanks again. Download the game. There's going to be a link down below in the description comments of the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.